What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim. Gonna be playing a game on PTCGO today, and today I'm rocking Buzzrock, the good, the faithful Buzzrock deck. I've made a few changes to this list. I don't exactly remember what they are. I think I'm trying to play some thicker lines right now. I think I'm trying like a 2-1 Lycanroc line. I think I'm trying a 2-1 Auxiliary line. I think I'm still playing the Lele. Towards list was doing a lot of wacky things, like playing no Lele, playing like a 3-2 Lycanroc line. Pretty cool version of the deck nonetheless, but I'm trying out some different things here, trying to see what works. Buzzrock still just a great deck in this metagame, a great deck in general, and is just so good, so powerful, so low maintenance. I love the deck for sure. Looks like we are playing against Greninja, everybody. All right, so this can actually be a pretty close matchup. I mean, Will Mantha was able to beat Greninja in his win and into the finals of the Madison Regional Championships. We're going to go ahead and put that Rockruff down short, and it could just be close. I mean, at the end of the day, we just need to be more aggressive than they are, like for sure. We need to just kind of go off. Now, I think, just thinking about what I want to get going here, I saw that they do play Enhanced Hammer. We want to get a Brooklyn Hill down short. We could get our Auxiliary out. Diancie's probably good as well, just to help us get some early damage on. We could go get a Buzzwole GX. I mean, going in with early Knuckle Impacts is very good as well. I think getting a Buzzwole GX down could be good, just because Knuckle Impact is like our only attack that can actually knock out fully loaded Greninjas, so I do like that, and just getting a couple energy on Buzzwole early is very good because it will give us some late game sweeping options. So I think, yeah, just going for the max elixir on him feels great. Just having that energy there definitely feels good. Choice bands are like not going to matter versus this deck, so I feel like I could just put the choice bands, you know, kind of wherever more or less, and it doesn't really matter. I will just put that choice band onto that Buzzwole. That's fine. And then we're going to Cynthia here, draw a few more cards. Now, I did give my opponent that. Okay, this is fine, actually. The B-strings aren't going to be a big deal in this matchup because B-string, oh, I could have attached that Beast Energy. I'm silly, but they do play Enhanced Hammer, so I don't really want to attach that Beast Energy yet. So I'm fine kind of gripping that Beast Energy for next turn, and maybe getting like a Diancie or something like that, and getting a turn 1 knockout on this Remoraid. So I don't actually just want to slap that Beast Energy down, especially since it's my one and only Beast Energy. I don't really want to just waste that. I'm also not really worried about Sycamoring these B-strings here, since my opponent, if they're smart, is going to play around B-string. Like, they are not going to let me live on those. Oh, they're going to Wild River. Get out of town. I cannot believe they're going to Wild River. Also, let's talk about the fact that my opponent is playing Auxiliary in their Greninja deck. That is very interesting, I have to say. So they Wild Rivered into Froakie. That's an interesting decision there. I think that, you know, I'm trying to figure out what they're thinking with that one. So I think that I just go get my Diancie and just knock out the Froakie and don't feel bad about it. And then I'm not going to Sycamore this hand because I don't really have to. So I think I just wait on it in case they like bump my strong energy. I could just sit here on this hand and feel fine about it. So let's just Sledgehammer here, knock out that Froakie, 70 damage, perfect. And then if they Enhanced Hammer that, I've got more energy where that came from. I've got a Beast Energy here as well that I can play, and I'm kind of like locked and loaded and ready to go. And sure enough, incoming Enhanced Hammer, so that's fine. They do have the Splash Energy on their active, so they're going to get to bring this Frogadier back after I knock it out. Isn't that funny that Froakie does not get any additional hit points when it evolves into Frogadier? I think that is very funny there. They're going to go get themselves a holographic 60 hit points Froakie there, out with their Brooklyn Hill, and they're going to Sycamore. Bold move there. I mean, if they draw into a bunch of Frogadier, they're going to be having a bad time. But it looks like they wanted to set up their Auxiliary, and then all of a sudden the Wild River doesn't look so crazy, right? Because now they've got an energy on their Auxiliary, and if I decide to Guzma that thing up, then they're just an energy attachment away from being able to bring it back to the bench. Whoa, that's a Gale Shuriken boy there. I did not expect to see that, so that's kind of interesting. Let's Ultra Ball away 2 B-strings. I'm feeling pretty fine with that. Let's Ultra Ball away 2 B-strings. See what we got here. I actually, okay, I think I I mean, I can Lycanroc something up, which feels fine, or I can go get my Octillery. I think if I Lycanroc something up, like I can knock out, I'm doing 30, I could do 60, I could do 80. I could do 80 damage with my Prism Energy, and I can knock out pretty much anything I want. I don't necessarily want to just give them their Frogadier back, so and I think like Lycanroc feels fine. That also protects my Rockruff there, which is kind of cool. So, I mean, that seems okay. I mean, I can't knock out that Octillery. That feels okay. I don't want to really knock out that thing, so let's just, sure, let's go Lycanroc, and we're going to bring up the benched. Sure, let's just bring up that guy. And then we're just going to knock this thing out with Sledgehammer as well. Next turn, we can expect things to start to heat up a little bit because my opponent is going to be having a Greninja, right? So there's no more abilities. So I kind of wanted to get the Lycanroc maneuver there before my opponent started to do all of that. And sure enough, there's another Enhanced Hammer, so that is super annoying. You guys can see why I have not played this Sycamore yet, because they're just going to just knock off all my special energies, and I kind of want to have them. Now, the Remoraid, not feeling super useful now. I kind of put it down just in case I got myself into, you know, a hand that was awkward or something like that, and I just had an Ultra Ball and could dig myself out of it. But honestly, if my opponent decides to, oh, that's weird. Okay, so they are playing like, I think that this is like, is it Greninja BREAK? I'm pretty sure this is a Greninja BREAK deck, but there's a Greninja GX. So I'm very confused here. I am very confused as to what's going on, but obviously we have Octillery as well. So really, I mean, who knows what this is a Greninja BREAK deck. There are multiple Greninja BREAKs in here. So yes, I'm right here with you guys trying to figure out what's going on. And here is a regular Greninja. I suspect that my opponent's probably going to go for something like Shadow Stitching here, though, I mean, really my abilities don't make that much of a difference, but having Diancie is a big deal. Also, being able to get my hands on Octillery is also great. I am curious as to how many healing cards my opponent plays. They also play Wally. Wow. Curious as to how many healing cards my opponent plays, what kind of options they're going to have to heal themselves during the course of this match. So like when I pop them for, you know, like 60 damage here with this Beast Energy, what kind of healing can I expect from my opponent's side? So we are going to drop that. We're going to play a Float Stone as well. We'll probably play the Float Stone onto the, let's see, none of these, actually, yeah. Knocking out that Greninja GX over there is going to be a big deal. We'll play it onto my Remoraid here, just to have that down. And then we're going to Sycamore. I was considering putting it on the active position just in case I wanted to do something like Knuckle Impact. Yep, I mean, that just could have been an option, right? If I hit enough Max Elixirs, I could Knuckle Impact this Greninja and just take care of it. However, I did draw into a hand here with a bunch of fighting energy in it, so the odds of me hitting these Max Elixirs are pretty small. I would like to hit one of them, but it's fine, and honestly, I don't really need to. I could wait until I get a Shuffle Draw Supporter or something like that in order to play this last one, but at this point, I mean, I don't have a lot of fighting energy down, so I might hit one, like I could. There we go. I was thinking like I probably have a pretty good shot at hitting one of these. I'll throw that on the Buzzwole as well, and then we're just going to Sledgehammer, get some damage on board there. We're only doing 60 damage, which is a little bit tough, especially if they hammer me again, right? If they play something like 4 Enhanced Hammers, this can get really rough really quickly, because now they have the option. They've got Octillery out right now. They could just shuffle Waters back into their deck, no problem, and draw into them with Octillery. A little bit of a different strategy than the typical Starmie situation that we typically see, but, still valid. I mean, I get it. I think Starmie probably a little bit more efficient, probably a little bit better, but, I mean, my opponent is probably going to end up being able to just smoke me here, no problem. So I would not be surprised. They are just going to take out my Remoraid. That's fine. I don't mind them taking that prize. Honestly, I'd rather them take out the Remoraid than put 60 damage on my Buzzwole GX, because the Buzzwole GX is really all I have. Now, if they do have, if they have Enhanced Hammer, this is pretty much a wrap. This is horrible. But if they don't, then I can Sledgehammer one more time, do 60 more damage. And it's just such a tough situation because I feel so capped right now. I already got 2 Strongs down. I've already got my Beast in play as well. Then an End, so that's actually fine. If I could get like Energy Guzma, that would be very good. You can see I didn't play the Choice Band there. I wanted to keep it just in case. So I do have Energy Guzma, but I wonder, you know, what the ideal play for me is going to be. I don't think I can't knock out that Greninja GX. I can knock out this Greninja here on the bench, which is very good. I could also take out the Octillery, which is fine. I feel like, and I can just obviously Sledgehammer the active again. I got 2 Guzmas in hand though, so I might as well just roll with this while I got it. I can just like bring this thing up. I could Absorption 1, I can Knuckle Impact another. You know, that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna just try to roll with that. So let's do it. We're gonna bring one of these guys up. We're going to Absorption it. I think I'm just skipping the whole Lycanroc thing this game. We're just gonna roll with this, and hopefully, and I could bring something out with the Brooklyn Hill, but I don't really feel like there's no point in doing that. Let's just Absorption here, and then we could get back-to-back attacks. My opponent probably isn't going to be able to do enough to knock me out. Getting the strong energy there off of the draw on my prizes is extremely good, because then even if they enhanced hammer me, which I doubt they play more than 2, I would be very surprised to see a 3rd, but that is good for me nonetheless. That means that if they only play 2, then that means that the energy on my little baby Buzz here is sticking as well, which is good, and I definitely want that. So I do have the option to, I would love to like start to get ahead on my energy attachments. That would be very good here. I do only have 1 B string left in deck. I mean, I Ultra Balled away the other ones. I don't think that my opponent is like gonna try to let me have those B strings. That was my assumption. They did not even get, did they not get a Shuriken? They did not. Oh, they did. They Shuriken the active. Okay. So now they have just 1 Froakie in play. They don't have a Greninja on the bench, so I'm easily going to be able to just, you know, keep myself from getting Shuriken next turn, which is really, really good. Let's Brooklet Hill, see what we can go get. There's really nothing here that I'm like terribly interested in. I'm like fine with this stuff, I think. And I could get a baby Buzz just to throw down, but honestly, I think I'm just gonna chill on that for a minute. I think I just Sycamore, draw some new cards, see some new cards, feel good about that. I mean, my opponent, let's see, they could like Shadow Stitching me for, they can't really Shadow Stitching me for a whole lot next turn. They can Shadow Stitch me for, I guess, 70. 70 is enough to get a knockout. So yeah, they can knock me out just with Shadow Stitching next turn. So I want to commit this somewhere else. Committing it onto this Buzzwole feels super bad though. So I think I want to put it over here. And then I think I want to just Ultra Ball away this N and this Guzma. I don't really want to end myself right now. That feels bad. And then I think I'm just going to go get this Rockruff, because that Rockruff is pretty much a dead card because there's no point. I already have my 1 of Lycanroc in play. Then we're just going to Sycamore here. See if we can see some more cards. Sure, and we've got a B-string in our hand, but I don't think we actually have any, you know, many more basic energies in the deck. I might have enough to B-string, which would be very good. And then I can accelerate a little bit to one of these baby Buzzes here. And let's just go ahead and Knuckle Impact for knockout. Hopefully my opponent misses the knockout on my Buzzwole. That would be extremely good for me. And I could just go ahead and take these 2 last prizes. So this was great. Getting the Buzzwole going here. You guys kind of saw I needed to get the Buzzwole going. Hope that my opponent kind of just couldn't keep up with constant Knuckle Impacts. And that is really the only strategy I have. If they do have Choice Band, which they do have, things are going to get a little bit tough here though, especially if they end me. That's kind of like this is like the best Greninja strategy, right? Is just to like end, knockout, and just say like, you know what, you're probably not going to be able to keep up with me here at the end of the game. My opponent is going for Wonder Tag. This is getting very sketchy indeed. There's the end. So I just need like Guzma and a B-string. I mean, then I could like do some damage there. That would be pretty good, but I'm probably not going to get these kinds of cards off of my end 2. Well, sure enough, we did get a B string and an energy, so that's pretty much best case scenario for us, so I don't feel bad about that. This thing's going down. We can knock it out with swing around if we flip, what, 2 heads? We need to flip 2 heads to knock this thing out. If I do it with this Buzzwole, though, then I only need to do, we're talking 80, 110. I only need to flip 1 heads. So we're going to go in with this Buzzwole, and we're going to hope we flip our 1 heads. That is what we are hoping, and this is very good. I did get an energy as well. We're going to bring out this baby Buzzwole here just to thin the deck, and then let's B-string to the active. We've got 2 energies we're going to put on the active, and then I can attach 1 to my benched Buzzwole here so that we can just get another attacker, and then if I swing around, just flip 1 heads, it's a goner. Oh no, we flipped double tails. Why? Why swing around? Why? Oh no, this is horrible. Now we've got a Greninja BREAK on our hands. They can snipe me and knock me out. This is, oh, we could have kept Greninja BREAK off the field altogether. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, the agony. Okay, and now I'm in a terrible situation because they'd field blowered my float stones. I don't, oh my goodness. Okay, I mean, I can't just go up and hit this thing. I'm going to have to go in. I mean, they're going to Shadow Stitch this thing for 40. I don't want them to, but, like, they're gonna. So that's kind of horrible. I got to throw this thing into the active position, unfortunately, just because I have to knock out that break. And then you guys are seeing this is kind of how the matchup can go downhill. I had it. Like, I had a way out if that just was 1 heads. Ugh. So this is the unfortunate truth of the Greninja versus Buzzrock matchup. They just end you to, like, 2 and then can just sweep your whole board position because, yep, sure, here we go. They've got 2 prizes remaining. They know that I'm probably not getting this Lycanroc out of the active position. They could just afford, oh my gosh, and they've got themselves this guy. Can they GX? Are they going to Greninja GX me right now? That is just, like, insane, right? Like, this is, I'm just being played around with at this point. Like, this is nuts. My opponent having the Octillery on board, fantastic. I do think that this version of the deck that I'm seeing over here, might struggle against, like, Parallel City and stuff, but honestly, like, kudos to my opponent. It's kind of interesting just to see everything they got going on, and they've pretty much got game in hand next turn, unless I get this thing out, which, okay, so we did get this thing out of the active position. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead, slap that floatstone down there, and then I think I'm not going to put that Remoraid into play, and we're just going to go for the sweep, see if we can do it. So we got to swing around, knock out, and then hopefully, no, 2 tails again. I mean, what do you know? I think, like, my opponent at this point, oh, they could just GX me for a game. They haven't GX'd yet, so my opponent's got it. They're just going to come up with this thing, and they're just going to smack my Lycanroc GX with the Greninja. Yikes. All right, guys. Well, that was it. We did the best we could. We weren't going to win that game anyway, even if we flipped a heads on that. Even if we flipped a heads on that swing around there, just because I didn't have the Guzma I would have needed for game. I would have needed to top deck a Guzma there, so tough game, man. You guys see Greninja BREAK is a very good deck still and is a very valid play for the North American International Championships. Deck personally kind of sketches me out, but it is very good and has probably the ultimate shake and bake strategy out of any deck in standard format, just being able to end to low and ability lock. I mean, that's the same strategy as Buzz Garb. You want to end to low, ability lock, and just sweep, right? And it's just the same strategy, just done 2 different ways. I personally prefer the Buzz Garb because, like, you also have a very low maintenance strategy, which we could just jet punch, right, and take prizes that way. Whereas Greninja, you have to set up the whole machine and then you shake and bake and come back at the end. So the version of the deck that I was playing here is, like, kind of a similar version to Igor's list, but also not quite. Instead of the 1/1 lines, we got 2 1 lines there, and the let's see, we're gonna show off the whole list like this. I need to get a 4th matching strong energy. It's kind of embarrassing. I only got 3 right now, but oh well, the card's rotating, so I won't have to deal with that too much longer. I think I accidentally traded one away in a trade for something, but either way, good deck. Definitely a top choice heading into the North American International Championships, as is Greninja BREAK. Let me know, what do you think of Buzzrock in the comments below. Thank you all for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell. Peace.